Welcome to the Science of Gratitude podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Valerie Mukanga, and each week we'll explore how gratitude transforms our lives through powerful stories and insights. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Science of Gratitude podcast. I have a great guest that I'm going to let introduce herself to you so that we just don't not do her any justice or forget something, but she's amazing. You'll absolutely love her. So yes, Dr. Makda, would you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, Dr. Valerie. It's such a pleasure to be here today. I am Dr. Makda Majette. I'm a board-certified family physician. I'm an improv comedian, and I'm a speaker and joy coach. And I have about a decade of experience in the practice of medicine, and I have really enjoyed bringing joy to others through improv comedy and through coaching as well. So I'll just keep it short. That's a short bit about me.
Yeah, well, I know we'll get to know more about you. And yeah, I just called her Dr. Joy, even though that's not her name, but truly she always has this beautiful smile. She's always shining the light with her bright smile. Me being a dentist, I'm really honest when I say that. You have a beautiful smile. So anyway, let me ask you this, Dr. Magda, in your own term, how would you describe gratitude?
So I would describe gratitude as just having an appreciation for something, and especially for life, right? So number one is having that appreciation for life. And it just can start your day off so much better, just knowing like, look, I made it on the wake up list again. Gratitude.
Right?
I'm thankful. Yeah. So having appreciation.
Having appreciation for things, especially for life.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. I like that. I like that definition. It really is right on. So, doctor, would you please share with us your gratitude story?
My gratitude story. Oh, I like that you asked that. So for me, my gratitude story is that I live every day with intentionally and I try to create gratitude throughout my day. Mm-hmm. And part of that is, being grateful that I woke up, right? And I woke up without pain, or I noticed things throughout the day that make me smile, and I remembered oh, that's things that I'm grateful for. So my gratitude story is that and I learned that it's something that's necessary. Mm-hmm. Because there's some days where it's hard to find something that you feel grateful for because you're frustrated, or because there's challenges going on in the world. Mm-hmm. And you feel like a responsibility to help in some way, or you feel burdened down with guilt or shame. And sometimes when that happens, it can be very difficult to think about, what am I grateful for today? Mm-hmm. But I learned that when you reset and take that time to say intentionally, even writing it down, with like a gratitude journal, saying, I'm grateful for my body today. I'm grateful for my physical health. I'm grateful for the people who I have met today, who have smiled at me. I'm grateful for people who supported me in the times that I was going through challenges. Mm-hmm. So just having that gratitude makes a huge difference. And I've learned that I need to start doing it more intentionally. So I do it intentionally. I have a journal that I keep, and I put in at least 3 things that I'm grateful for each day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Let me ask you this. I wanted to have, you speak about something wonderful that God did for you that you would like to share with us and with the audience, something that they can maybe relate to. Many times, as you said earlier, sometimes we have things that we have gone through and we don't necessarily always feel grateful, but we have to come to actually practicing this gratitude, and even like putting things in a journal as a habit, because gratitude goes a long way, and the more grateful you are, the more joyful you are.
Mhm.
Dr. Magda has a whole podcast where she brings joy every day, and she will have a guest that would come and speak about what they do, to
Mhm.
bring joy into their own lives, and it's just been very amazing. So,
Mhm.
would you be able to talk us through, a testimony, something that God did for you that you're completely grateful for? He did it, and it was amazing, that you would like to share.
Mm. So, I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things. So I try to think of just one thing would be that, God brought us our daughter that we prayed for,
Yay.
a long time.
Yay.
So, and just I'm so grateful, that she's here. But of course, motherhood comes with its own challenges,
Mhm.
right? Because I had to have a C-section, so it was a lot of pain.
Oh, wow.
And also the recovery, and then the sleepless nights, and then issues with breastfeeding come up. But it's something that I prayed for and I wanted, and I'm so grateful for.
Mhm.
So, but it's just even things that we pray for, they can come with challenges, right?
Yes, this is true. This is true.
hmm So it's just staying. It was a reminder for me to stay in that gratitude because we prayed for her so much. We're so blessed and so happy that she's here with us. But
Yes.
of course, we're handling the challenges that come with, lack of sleep, adjusting and to being a new parent, recovering your body, those type of things. But I'm so grateful and overjoyed, really. But it comes with challenge as well.
Right. So
Mhm.
you said that you prayed for your daughter for a long time. May I ask you about how long it took you to finally hold her in your arms? And what was, if you can share, like what was that process like?
Um, hmm. Well, I would just say that we prayed for at least 2 years, maybe three. Yeah, yeah, at least 2 years, maybe three. Just praying that we would have an addition to the family in that way, and yeah, the process it was long, but each step we just had faith and we just pray. We just pray that put it in God's hands. Like if it's meant to be, it will be.
To be.
And we trust God's timing is our number one. So when anyone would ask me like, "Oh, when are you gonna have a kid?"
Hmm.
I say, "You know what? It's God's timing."
Hmm.
And that kind of quieted them up. They didn't say anything to that.
So you had a lot of people asking you.
A lot of people asking me, yeah, a lot of people. And then I had like my abdomen was a little bit I had a belly before I was even pregnant, so I had a lot of people that would ask me, "Oh, are you pregnant?" And then like, "No, well, when are you gonna, when are you gonna have a baby?" And
Yes.
oh, God's timing, and that's it. But
Yes.
but yeah, so I'm very very grateful, and we that's something that we pray for a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one time it was actually in the office. I had some patient that I knew, and I had put on some weight during that
Mhm,
series. And so
mhm.
they were like, so excited and happy, and they really were, adamant about the fact that I was expecting, and
That's what they were doing to me too.
I'm like, no. And so I was determined since then to not, go and pry and ask anyone, because you just never know.
hmm
Just never know.
hmm
You could be
Never
maybe
know
like,
what people are going through.
right,
Yeah.
you don't. Right, you don't. You might be striking a nerve, and, on someone, maybe someone that had been expecting, and, just life happens. Sometimes even like with depression, people can put on weight, or,
hmm
just
hmm
any kind of other situations. Maybe like it could be some health issues
hmm
or something, because people are very quick to judge people who are a little bit heavier. Um,
hmm
just
Especially when it's in the abdomen area, right? So that's when they were asking me a lot because of my belly, and it wasn't that it was so huge, but it was,
it was there.
it wasn't flat. I was not wearing something to flatten it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so let me ask you this, Doc. If someone is actually going through, you know, the same situation where they are expecting or they would want to build a family and it's taking long, right? What would be your advice, for them to actually tackle that? And how did you go about staying joyful during that period of time while you were still awaiting for your bundle of joy?
Hmm. Well, number one, what I would say is that, it's just seek medical help, medical attention. Like if you need to see a specialist who focuses on fertility, go ahead and do it,
Mm-hmm.
and see them because it's good to get the process kind of started to see if
Yes.
there is anything underlying medically that may need to be treated or removed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, so that's number one, and don't be afraid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it sure it's covers, sometimes it doesn't, but you don't know until you try. So
Right.
just start. If it's been more than if it's been more than a year and you haven't had success, definitely see a specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then just when you do see them, you can see multiple, right? So hopefully see someone that you're very comfortable with and you feel comfortable asking questions to. If not, try someone else
Mm-hmm.
and kind of see what their recommendations are. Um, so have a second opinion if needed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then I would say just have faith in a way and do your job but not get depressed. Like for me, it was just whatever it takes. I'm going to just do it, what
Mm-hmm.
is needed or what the plan is, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to worry and I'm just going to keep it. It's still in God's hands regardless of
Right.
what happens. So this may or may not
Mm-hmm.
work, but if it does work, then good.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but if it doesn't, then maybe that was not the right timing for me, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't take it like I have to have this now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
You
there's
put
no
no
way.
rush.
I didn't put rush on it. No, no. But I just
Deadline.
accepted it. Yeah.
Ultimatum is the word.
Oh yeah, I didn't be like, oh, because I learned as a young child.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have a chapel at my school when I was a young child, and every morning we would pray, and then I would pray every morning for a dog. I wanted a dog, and then when I got the dog, I was 6 years old. I did not know how to care for the dog, and
Right.
and then so we only kept the dog for 1 week, and we had to return it to the
Oh,
store.
wow.
And I was so sad because I was like, you know what? And then the next sermon at the chapel was about how it's about God answers our prayer, but in His timing, not our timing.
Timing, yes.
So then I was like, okay, maybe that's what it wasn't my time. And then now I have a dog, and he's perfect. He's the best dog ever. He's 4 years
Yes.
old. I've had him since he was a few weeks old. So it's just God's timing because I wasn't ready to have a dog because when I had that dog when I was 6, I didn't know what to do. The dog was like whining, crying because and I couldn't figure out what it wanted or needed
Right.
because I was too young at that point. So,
Mm-hmm.
but now I have it. So it's just trusting that God's timing is right, and if
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and even if I was at where I couldn't have a kid, I would also be like, okay, I would see what other options may be.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's if they're adoptions, whatever. But trusting that God's timing is right.
Was the best. So
Yeah.
that's the way you were able to keep yourself grounded, and
Mhm.
was to basically hang on to the idea that God's timing is the best. And
Mhm.
so that was like what held you together or centered you. And then, knowing that you could go and seek medical help and things like that. That's what you're advising, somebody to seek medical help and
Mhm.
and see many, get even seeking like a second opinion if need be, if you don't like, until you see the right match, right, is what you're saying.
Mhm. Mhm. I didn't need to see multiple opinion, but I do think that it can be necessary for
Can be necessary.
someone listening. Yeah, if they're not in a situation that they think that they're getting the best care.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wonderful. And so in between that, while you were expecting, how did you how did you keep yourself grateful and joyful at the same time?
Yeah, so that could be difficult too because I had nausea
Oh,
all throughout the pregnancy until I delivered. Like I have like these emesis bags, those nausea bags, and
wow.
still have some because I was every day up until up until the delivery. But I
Yes.
kept myself feeling grateful because I felt so happy and like
Mm,
and every move, every week was something new. Like
yes.
now you can start to feel the baby move, or before you just start to feel a kick, and then now you're feeling. She flips like she started doing like flips. When like I think in the third trimester, around 32 weeks, and I was just like amazed at all the things. And we also kept track of how much she grew each week,
Mm,
right? So, like in the first week, was she size of a peanut, and now she's the size of something else, a gourd, and then they say like, oh, she's the size of a watermelon. You know, so keeping track of those, and I still pray. I take gratitude and just every night being thankful that we've gotten another week. We've gotten through another week.
right.
Baby's growing, and I'm still was overall, even with the nausea, I was still pretty well.
Okay.
Thankfully, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to get IV fluids or anything. Some women do have to do that
Mm-hmm.
because of the nausea. I just had a medication that I took, so
Mm-hmm.
take my medicine, and I would be grateful. Like, thank God, there's medicine that helps with
Right.
this.
At least I have medication to
Yeah,
take.
I have something to take, and it works. So
Yes. Yes.
I just had to do that, take that, and it works. And I'm just grateful. And I just went week by week, just amazed by the changes that were happening. Me, thankfully, I didn't have like some people get swollen feet and pain with walking. I
Mm-hmm.
would get a little short of breath towards the end with walking,
Yes.
but other than that, I didn't have those other symptoms. So just being thankful about the symptoms that I didn't have. Like, well, I can still fit my shoes. Because a lot of women can't fit their shoes anymore in the
Wow.
last trimester.
Right.
But I could, and I was moving. I would do like some still fitness classes sometimes when I
Mm.
could. I liked also the positive attention that I got.
Yes.
It's not when I was not pregnant, but when you're actually pregnant and they're saying, "Oh wow, when are you due?" It's actually
Not before, but actually when
well,
you
actually
are.
before when I was not, but when I
Right.
did not like it. But when you are, it's actually
Yes.
nice.
Right. That
Like,
makes sense.
yeah, because people are just being friendly and interacting with you more,
Mm-hmm.
which I always like. Mm, I like that. So yeah, those are the main things that I did to stay joyful, was just to be excited about each stage the
Mm-hmm.
baby was growing,
Mm-hmm.
being thankful that my symptoms were being able to be treated and were not so severe,
Mm.
and just taking it one week at a time or one day at a time.
Yes. Did you actually take time to maybe like insert yourself in groups of people that were also going through similar experience, to kind of like have, feedback from other mothers to be.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I luckily had a few friends that we were all pregnant. Actually, it was one, two, three, five friends,
Wow.
which is like, what? You wouldn't even expect that,
Right.
but that's God, right? But they're all pregnant at this around the same time. So all of their kids are either a few weeks apart from mine.
Right.
So, and these are friends that I've known for a while. So we message each other, and commiserate. Like, oh, which things did you get? It's like send me your list to your, you have a registry list,
Yes.
of like the baby islands. Say which ones are good and which ones are not. We talked like that, but they're all only one of them is in state, and she lives in the same town, but the other ones lived in different states. But those are friends of mine, so I've been able to communicate with them regularly. But I, as a new mom, I joined a new mom group. So
Okay.
that one is in person here, and there was a local new mom group. So it started with a class, which was about six or seven moms and their babies that were born within the same month.
Yes.
So we met once a week for 6 weeks. So I did do that as a new mom, like after I delivered, but I didn't meet up with pregnant women group.
That was more like your friends.
That was more like my friend, and we just called and text each other because we were all
Yeah.
going through it together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. That's
Mhm.
wonderful to see. And one thing that I absolutely love about what you said is the fact that you focused on the symptoms that you didn't have to be grateful, versus, just zooming on what you did have or experience that were kind of like rocky, so that
Mhm.
you always had something to be happy about and to be joyful about. That's definitely something that I am going to take into consideration. And it's like, life could always be worse, so we need to be thankful for where we are. And then another thing that I like is that for some good reason, the good Lord like allowed you to be amidst, some friends of yours that were going through the same thing at the same time.
Mhm.
Because then it's like we realize that we're not alone in the trials that we're going through. And so you can have like a community that can also understand, you know, what you're going through, and kind of
Mhm.
be like a support system. I think that that's, great, because sometimes, it's difficult when we go through something and we're going alone, because you feel that loneliness and you think that it's just you, well, me, why me, and all of that. But sometimes, like, I would advise, and I know you would too, if someone is going through a hard time, to try to not, be secluded, or to kind
Mhm.
of like uh, be withdrawn from everybody else, but to kind of like, put themselves in an environment, of course, with trustworthy people
Mhm. Mhm.
that, can also help you face what you're going through.
Mhm. I love that you said that because solitary confinement is one of the biggest like tortures that someone can go through, like in prison, right?
Yeah.
Right? They can put that when they put them in solitary away from people. That's torture. So we ourselves like should not put ourselves in isolation because that
Correct.
is torturing ourselves in a
Right.
way
Right.
because we're meant to be as human beings we're social creatures. We're
Yes.
meant to help each other, work it out together. There's no one like if your challenge, my challenge, none of them are unique, right?
Right.
In this world with the billions of people, someone has gone through it. So you do not have to do anything alone, and definitely not in isolation or putting yourself in isolation because that is torture.
And
Mhm.
then the other thing that I absolutely love that you shared with us is, while you were expecting, or you wanted, your baby, you started praying about it. And I see that that's something that you were doing from when you were young, because when you wanted a dog, you
Pray for that.
and it so happened for you that you are receiving what you ask for. And that reminds me of that wonderful verse in the Bible that says, ask and you shall receive. And you are a good example of that you ask for. And it's funny that you even receive, even though you were not ready, but you had the maturity at that level to realize, okay, because I'm not ready yet, let me just return this little puppy so that I don't torture the puppy. But later on in life, you get blessed again with the same thing that you had asked for years and years and years before. So I
Mhm.
think that, some people, they have a hard time praying and asking, especially praying and asking God, because they feel like, oh, now God is going to feel like I'm only asking him, for what I need. But I
Mhm.
remember one time I was sharing with someone, I said, no, when you ask somebody for something, that means you have faith and you trust that that person has full capacity of giving it to you. And it's a time, and when it comes to God, it's also a way of actually, praising him or worshiping him, knowing that he has everything that you need. He's
Mhm.
able to provide everything, for everything that you do need.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's so important because I think, well, this is just for my thoughts is that God will give you many things,
Hmm.
but He needs to know what we want at the same time too.
Right.
But and not in a way like So that's why I say like be careful what you not be careful what you ask for, but of course we're here. We do God's will. But we want certain things. But we have free will,
Hmm.
and sometimes we need to ask for what we want so
Hmm.
that we can receive.
Right.
Yeah, we need to ask for what we want so that we can receive. And but part of that is being gratitude because you have to start with being thankful for what you do have,
Yes.
and then you can ask for
Right.
what else you may want.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I love it. Well,
Hmm.
thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on today and sharing your beautiful smile and your
Hmm.
beautiful insight with us today. I wanted to ask you, is there any project or anything that you're working on that you would like people to know about, just in case somebody wanted to reach out to you? How could they find you, or where could they find you?
Yes, thank you. So, first of all, I would love for you all to follow my YouTube channel, which is at Doc Majette, DocMajette.
Hmm.
And I have the Embracing Joy podcast there. We
Yeah.
have a new episode released every Friday.
Hmm.
Um, and I also would like everyone to know that both me and Dr. Valerie, we were authors in the book called Made for More too.
We are.
Yes, so you can see that and purchase a copy. That should be probably on. I have the link also in my YouTube bio there as well.
And we
Um,
can actually put it also in the description of the video as well.
okay.
Yeah, it's a wonderful book, in fact. I'm grateful for it.
Yes, it's a wonderful book. Yeah. So it's just been really great, a blessing to be up here with you, Dr. Valerie. I hope that I know that the audience you've taken a lot away from this conversation.
Hmm.
It ended up being very faith based, but you could also interpret it as like just asking a higher power or knowing what's within your control and taking and gratitude is can be for everyone too. Just to take it helps everyone
Yes.
um, in terms of it. It helps increase your joy. It
Hmm.
helps increase your optimism about life.
Hmm.
Increase mental wellness.
Hmm.
So just really taking that time for gratitude is so important. Even if you start small, like I'm breathing, and
Yes.
then
Yes.
and then go to other things that you can be grateful for because there's so many things once you get started.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, I want to thank you, audience, for tuning in today. And as Dr. Magda said, we know that there's a lot of nuggets that you're able to take and apply to your lives. If you like this episode, please don't hesitate to share it with someone else. Apply the principle that we shared with you, and please go and subscribe to Dr. Majette's podcast. I have subscribed, and I really love it. I love seeing, the different ways that people actually apply joy in their lives. And so it will really, really, truly bless you. That being said, we'll see you next time. Stay blessed. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to the Science of Gratitude podcast. If this episode resonated with you, please subscribe, share it, and leave us a review. Your support helps us keep spreading the power of gratitude. And until next time, stay grateful. God bless you.